26 senators, 59 representatives, right? Okay, Gracie, give me one basic problem that President Washington and the Congress had in organizing a federal government.
No federal laws.
Okay, give me another one there. Madison?
There was no law enforcement officers.
Another one, Soraya?
No court systems.
Very good. Another one, Chantel?
Very little money.
Another one, Kylie? Come on, we're going. We're on a roll here. You can't stump us. At the start of your notes, my dear.
Basic problems.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Shh, okay, give me another one.
You already say income tax collection method?
I don't think we said that, did we? Another one, Shania.
Own a large debt from the revolution.
Okay, another one, Hannah.
No federal treasury.
Okay, you need to know 5 basic problems that President Washington and the Congress had in organizing a new federal government. No 5. Okay, Brooke, give me the 3 executive departments that were created by Congress to help President Washington with his work as President of the United States.
So it's Secretary of State.
Departments.
Oh, Department of State, Department of Treasury, and Department of War.
Very good. Department of State, Department of Treasury, Department of War. Now, if I say, name the 3 executive departments, are you going to put State, War, and Treasury, or are you going to put Department of? Thank you. All right, Courtney. Name the 3 types of debt the new government had to deal with after the Revolutionary War.
Foreign debt, domestic debt, and state debts.
Okay, thank you. You said it right. Foreign debt, domestic debt, and state debts with an S. Okay? Mackenzie, give me one advantage of the Bank of the United States. One advantage of the Bank of the United States.
It transfer money by sending checks.
Okay, give me another one, Meg.
They give U.S. salaries and income tax.
Very good. And one more, Talon. Anybody else have a third one?
Tax collectors keep it sound.
And the other branches and other banks.
Yeah, that's right.
So what are the 3 then?
The 3 are what again, Mackenzie?
They could transfer money by sending checks.
Transfer money, sending checks, that way they don't have to ship gold and silver. Yep, I have another one made.
They gave them salaries and checks.
The third one is it created branch banks in each of the 13 states. You only need to know one of those for tomorrow. Okay, now Beth, my dear, what was the reason President Washington sent a representative to Spain to negotiate a treaty in 1795? What was the real reason?
Because he didn't want to get into trouble with Great Britain.
Well, that'd be your normal thing, but what was the real reason why he sent that guy over there, Thomas Pinckney? To negotiate things favorable to who? Because when they sent John Jay over to Great Britain to do Jay's treaty, they negotiated things favorable to Great Britain. So the reason that George Washington sent a representative to Spain to negotiate a treaty in 1795 was to negotiate items favorable to the United States. Favorable to the United States. Okay, give me, well, one of the end results of the treaty between the United States and Spain. What was one of those favorable things we received?
We allowed them to, the trappers and.
Okay, you're talking about Jay's treaty with the British. Milo, give me one favorable thing we received from our negotiation with Spain. Very good. A specific boundary between Florida and Georgia. How about another one there? Blaine? Yep. Spain agrees to take control over India and attacks where? In western Florida, around that border area, okay? And what was the third one, Keller? Right to use the mouth of the Mississippi River, which was New Orleans, not have it, the right to use it, also referred to as what? The right of deposit. That was crucial because later on that's going to come up. Okay, so you need to know the three end results of the treaty between the United States and Spain. Okay, Taylor, give me one major accomplishment that President Washington and his administration did during their 2 terms in office.
They organized the machinery of the government.
Very good. Give me another one, Gracie.
Solid financial foundation.
Okay, give me another one, Madison.
Usually did more with it.
Okay, another one there, Soraya. They improve relations with. That a girl. Good guess, it worked. Need to know 2 of those. 2 major accomplishments by President Washington. Okay, Chantel, give me one of the 2 major concerns Washington had when he left office.
Relationships with foreign countries.
Relationships with foreign countries, and what was the other one, Kylie?
Conflict between the North side, Thomas Jefferson and Washington.
Very good. If you want that correct, it's going to be conflicts between Alexander Hamilton and Thomas Jefferson. Okay, give me one difference in philosophy, Shania, between the Republican Party and the Federalist Party. One difference in philosophy.
The Federalists have very little faith in the ability of the average Christian to govern themselves, and the Republicans have great faith.
Okay, and that would be one. You have to make the comparison. Federalists had little faith, the average person, to govern themselves, whereas the Republicans had great faith in all people to govern themselves. Is that right? Okay, Carly, give me another difference in philosophy between the Republican Party and the Federalist Party. Okay, and the okay, you got kind of 2 different ones there. Let's do this one. Whereas the Federalist Party wanted a strong federal government, the Republican Party wanted a strong state government. Now let's go back to the other one she said. So another one would be what? Where the Federalists wanted the wealthy to run the country, what did the Republicans want? The average person. Okay, so there's some differences. So 3 differences in philosophy between the Republican Party. There might be some more too. Is there others? Give me another one, Cody. I think I missed you.
Supported the Bank of the U.S.
Who did?
The Federalists.
And who didn't? There you go. There's another one. Okay, there's several there. You need to be able to explain 3 differences in philosophy between the Republican Party and the Federalist Party. Okay, Nick, what was the unusual conclusion to the election of 1796?
The president was Federalist John Adams, the vice president was Thomas Jefferson.
Very good, that's all you need to have. The unusual conclusion of the election of 1796 is that we had a Federalist president in John Adams and a Republican vice president in Thomas Jefferson. Okay, Cody, give me one of the 3 ultimatums that French diplomats X, Y, and Z gave American representatives in 1797. You're the only Cody in here. You didn't? How come? Were you gone?
Yeah,
And you got right on that website and got after him when you got home?
actually forgot
Forgot what?
what it was called. BC trip.
Oh,
So I looked at Orland BC trip.
did you look up World High School BC trip? Okay, it's right on your syllabus. Did you take your book home? Cody, you're bad news. Bailey, give me one.
The ultimatum.
Yep, one ultimatum.
President Adams would have to publicly apologize to France about, or when he made negative comments.
That's right. Yeah, publicly apologize to France for making negative comments about it. Okay? Will, come on now. What's another one?
U.S. to be forced to grant a loan to France.
Very good. And Milo, what was the third one?
The U.S. had paid a bribe, $250,000 to France.
There you go. You need to know those 3 ultimatums, okay? Mackenzie?
The first one, he just made negative remarks in his speech.
Yeah.
In his speech.
You could just put there, said France demanded that President Adams apologize for negative remarks he made about that. How about that? Okay? In a speech if you want to. Okay, here's the kicker. I'm going right over to Kylie because she's got this down. What was the unusual conclusion to the election of 1800? We're not done yet. Yeah.
They have an equal tie between Jefferson
Okay, so the unusual conclusion, that's not the conclusion.
and.
They did, you're on the right track. So there was a tie in the voting, which meant that somebody had to break the tie. Who had to break it? House of Representatives. And who did the House, who were they full of, party-wise? Federalists. And even though the Federalists favored Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton used his influence and picked Jefferson, talked about picking Jefferson, because he thought he was the lesser of 2 evils. I'd make sure you have, that's got to be explained. So I would say, first of all, there was a tie between the Republican candidates, Jefferson and Burr. Because of that, it went to the House of Representatives. Most of the members of the House of Representatives were Federalists and favored Burr. However, Alexander Hamilton convinced him into electing Jefferson because he saw Jefferson as the lesser of 2 evils. Very good. All right, here's the little short essay question you're going to need to know. I want you to think about it. Listen to it first. Briefly explain the Whiskey Rebellion. The history concerning governmental actions taken, reaction to those governmental actions, initial solutions, result, final solutions, and end result. So I'll read them to you again. So, what was the history concerning governmental actions taken that led to the Whiskey Rebellion? What's the answer to that part? Yeah, we're explaining the Whiskey Rebellion. First, I want to know the following. First, the history concerning governmental actions taken. What is the history behind governmental actions taken that led to the Whiskey Rebellion? This is a test question I'll almost guarantee will be on the AP exam. Almost guarantee. Okay, so what were, go ahead Cody, see if you know that. What was the history concerning governmental actions taken? Well, that's too far back. What did the government decide to do?
Oh, tax for every gallon of whiskey that was produced or sold.
Okay, tax, we gotta have some detail, I want you to get this good. Tax
distillers.
liquor distillers on every gallon of whiskey distilled, right? So that's the history concerning governmental actions taken. The government chose to tax liquor distillers for every gallon of whiskey distilled, right? That's the answer to that, okay? That's the answer to the history concerning governmental actions taken. That the government chose to tax liquor distillers on every gallon of whiskey distilled, okay? What was the reaction to those governmental actions? What did the whiskey distillers do? Refused to pay their tax. Okay, so the reaction to the governmental action is the liquor distillers refused to pay the tax. What was the initial solution to them not paying their tax? Sending in federal marshals to make them pay their tax. What was the result of that? They got drove off. So what was the final solution to solve the problem? Send in 15,000 troops, and the final result of that was what? The end of the Whiskey Rebellion. Okay, so that's the type of question you get on the short answer question you get on the AP exam. I'll read it to you again if you want to write down. Briefly explain the Whiskey Rebellion. The history concerning governmental actions taken, reaction to those governmental actions, initial solutions, result, final solutions, and end result. Want me to repeat that one more time? Okay, one more time. Briefly explain the Whiskey Rebellion. The history concerning governmental actions taken, reaction to those governmental actions, initial solutions, result, final solutions, and end result. The history concerning governmental actions taken, the federal government chose to tax liquor distillers on every gallon of whiskey distributed. Reaction to those governmental actions, liquor distillers refused to pay the tax. Initial solutions, sending in federal marshals to enforce the law. Result, they all got drove off by the liquor distillers. Final solutions, President Washington sends in 15,000 military troops to enforce the law, and result, rebellion over, okay? There you go. All right, that test will be worth tomorrow, just so you know, about 110. Okay, the matching will be worth 15, 2 points apiece, that's 30. There's 45 short answer at 2 points apiece, that's 90. 90 and 30 is 120. 120. Any questions at all? And then we're moving on to Jefferson and the Lewis and Clark expedition. Hunky, Stink, and Dory. Big tragedy today in the world. For those of you that know anything about music, David Bowie died today. 69 years old.
Who's that?
One of the first off-the-beat musicians, so to speak, that sexually orientated, made people wonder, I guess would be the best way to put it. Good artist, very successful, but a lot of people didn't know which sexual orientation was. The point I make on that, he's one of the first musicians that made that kind of a mystery, so to speak. And very, very well respected musician, and died of cancer. You know, what's tough on an old guy like me is all the guys that you listen to in music and all the sports figures and all the people I grew up with.